Chosen one, whatever you are doing needs to stop right now, not in a minute, not after you finish that thought now. Because what I uncovered while preparing this message made me sit in complete silence for longer than I am comfortable admitting something formed inside you, and I am not talking about something you intentionally developed, not a skill you practiced, not a technique someone taught you. I am talking about a power that grew so quietly, so gradually that you had no idea it was taking shape until it became impossible for the spiritual realm to ignore you. Mastered something that has the devil himself terrified not to destroy you. That is the fascinating part. He wants to run from you because he can't stop you, and the fact that he can't is creating a level of panic in dark realms that has completely shifted how they approach you. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications, because what I am about to reveal about this power, how it developed in you, and why fallen entities are now running from you like you are a wildfire they cannot comprehend, will permanently change how you understand every prayer you've ever prayed. Stay until the very end, because I am going to show you exactly what this power is, why heaven documented the moment you mastered it, and what this means for everything coming toward you. Write 777 in the comments if you've noticed recently that your prayers just work, even when you don't know what you are doing. I know. I was skeptical at first, right? I thought, wait, that can't be. How can my prayers be that powerful? I am just a regular person. I am not a pastor. I am not a prophet. I am just me. But then, my pastor told me he had a dream where he saw the demons running from people like you and me because of our prayers. And he told me the demons told him that they are more scared of a regular chosen one's prayers than they are of angels. Because with angels they know what to expect. They know how to fight them. But with us, they don't. Because our prayers, they are unpredictable. They are more powerful than anything they've ever seen. And that is when I realized that is what was happening to me too. I had all these times where I prayed and things just fixed themselves, and I thought, that is just luck. But it wasn't. It was that power, that prayer dominion that I had, and I didn't even know it. Let me take you somewhere most people never get to see. There is a realm of spiritual observation that operates continuously around chosen ones, angels assigned to specific souls, documenting every response, recording every choice, tracking every prayer that humans pray without anyone in the physical world ever knowing. Most of what gets recorded follows predictable patterns. Humans pray, they ask for things, they wait, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. These patterns have been consistent since the beginning of human existence, but occasionally something gets recorded that doesn't fit any established category. Something that makes celestial observers pause their documentation and request consultation from higher ranks. Your file triggered that request not because you did something wrong, because you did something they couldn't classify. There is a phenomenon in spiritual physics that most humans never learn about prayer. Energy cannot be destroyed, only amplified when you pray to God. That energy doesn't just float around, it doesn't just evaporate, it has to go somewhere. Most humans pray weak prayers, prayers filled with doubt, prayers that don't have the power to move anything, so that energy just fades away. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't change anything. This is the normal human pattern. This is what darkness expects. This is what darkness counts on, because when your prayers are weak, they don't have to worry about them. They can just ignore them. They can keep doing their plans because your prayers aren't going to stop them. But you did something different, something that caught celestial attention because it should have been possible without years of intentional spiritual training. What you did has a name in celestial records. They call it prayer frequency dominion. Let me explain what this means, because understanding it will change everything about how you see yourself. Prayer frequency dominion is the ability to pray and release energy that is so aligned with God's frequency that it doesn't just ask for things it destroys darkness. It doesn't just move mountains, it vaporizes the plans of the enemy before they can even get off the ground. Not begging, not pleading, commanding, because you are connected to the source, and your prayers carry that power. There is a massive difference. When you pray a normal prayer, you are asking God to do something, you are waiting for Him to act. But when you pray with this dominion, you are acting with Him, you are releasing that energy that destroys the enemy's plans. You are part of the action, not just the one asking for it. This is prayer frequency dominion, and you mastered it without even knowing you were learning. Think back to the last several months. Think about times you prayed, not the big fancy prayers, the little ones, the ones you prayed in the car, the ones you prayed before bed, the ones you prayed when you were stressed. Maybe it was a quick prayer. When you saw something wrong, maybe it was a quiet prayer. When you were worried about someone, maybe it was just a whisper, God, please fix this. In those moments, something happened that you might not have consciously registered. Instead of that prayer just floating away, it detonated. It destroyed every plan the enemy had for that situation, for that person, for you. You felt the peace I am not saying you didn't. This isn't about being perfect, you recognize the need. This isn't about being naive, but somewhere in that process, before the enemy could even react, that prayer destroyed his plans. You didn't even know it, you just prayed, and it worked. The same prayer that would have done nothing for someone else became a weapon for you. The same whisper that would have faded away for someone else became a bomb for you. The same request that would have been ignored for someone else became a command for you. This is prayer frequency, dominion in action, and heaven recorded it. Your guardian angel noted the exact moment the detonation occurred, noted the specific circumstances that triggered it, noted the internal state you were in, noted the choice you made that nobody else in the physical world could see, and that report got flagged for special attention. Because what you demonstrated wasn't just impressive faith or strong belief, it was spiritual technology that most humans never develop in their entire lifetime. When this ability first began forming in you, it wasn't obvious. It started small, a quick prayer for a friend, and they got better the next day, a prayer for a situation. And it fixed itself before you knew it, a prayer for protection. And nothing bad happened. Each of these micro prayers built something inside you, layer by layer, prayer by prayer. Each time you chose to pray instead of worry, the ability strengthened. Each time you chose to trust instead of doubt, the capacity expanded, until eventually it became your default operating system. You stopped having to consciously try to pray powerful prayers. It started happening automatically. You would whisper a prayer, and before you knew it, the situation was fixed. The enemy's plans were destroyed. This automatic prayer dominion is what caught the attention of realms beyond human perception, because it indicated that you had graduated from conscious praying to integrated identity. You didn't just pray powerful prayers anymore. You became a prayer warrior, and that is extraordinarily rare. That is what happened to me. Right? At first, I would pray for small things like finding a parking spot, and it would work. I thought, that is just luck. Then, I would pray for bigger things, like my bills, and it would work. I thought, that is just coincidence. Then, it got to the point where even my smallest prayers, they work because I built that power. Layer by layer, that is how it worked. Every time you pray, you build that power a little bit more. Every time you choose to pray instead of worry, you make that power stronger. Every time you trust God instead of doubting, you make that power stronger. Until it becomes your default. Until it is just who you are. That is why the enemy, he can't stop you, because you've been building this power for years. He can't do anything to stop you. You may not have noticed it, but you've been doing this for years. Every time you prayed, every time you trusted God, every time you chose faith instead of fear, you built that power. And now, it is there. It is part of you, and you don't even know it. You've been destroying the enemy's plans. This whole time you just didn't know it. And the enemy, he has been running from you. This whole time, you just didn't know it. For those who want to understand how to consciously strengthen this prayer dominion ability, there is exclusive material in the description and pinned comment that costs less than a pizza, and comes with a complete audiobook plus a 5-minute prayer activation guide as a bonus. I know you may be thinking, wait, I don't need that. I already have this power. I already know how to pray. But the thing is, most of us, we don't know how to use it. Consciously, we just use it without knowing it. We just pray, and it works, and we don't know why. But if you learn how to use it consciously, you can make it even stronger. You can release that power even more. You can destroy even more of the enemy's plans. You can help even more people. That is what that material does. It teaches you how to consciously activate that power, how to release it whenever you want, how to make it even stronger, so that you can help even more people, so that you can destroy even more of the enemy's plans, so that you can be the warrior that God created you to be. I tried it, and it worked for me. It made my prayers even more powerful. I used to pray, and it would work, but now it works even faster. It works even better, and it can work for you too. And it is so cheap, it costs less than a pizza. You can get it, and it will change your life. It will help you to use that power consciously, to be the warrior that God created you to be, and they're taking it down soon, so you have to get it before it is gone. Because They don't want it to get too big. They only want the chosen ones to have it. They don't want the enemy to find out about it, because if he does, he will try to stop it. That is why I had to share it with you today, because I want you to have it. I want you to be able to use that power consciously to be the warrior that you are, to stop the enemy before he can even start. Now let me tell you why the devil himself became terrified of your case in the hierarchy of darkness. There are systems of surveillance just like there are in heaven, demons assigned to monitor specific humans' reports filed about progress or regression strategies adjusted based on what is working or failing. Most of this operates predictably predictable attacks producing predictable results, standard tactics working on standard humans. But demons assigned to you started filing unusual reports. They were experiencing something they couldn't explain. The plans they launched against you weren't just failing, they were being destroyed. Before they even started, the attacks they were planning were being vaporized by your prayers. Before they could even send them, like you had some kind of spiritual radar that was taking out their plans before they could even launch them. And they couldn't figure out why. At first the lower ranks thought it was angelic interference. They assumed your guardian angel was working overtime, running some kind of advanced protection protocol. But when they investigated further, when they analyzed the mechanics of what was happening, they discovered something that disturbed them deeply. The destruction wasn't happening through external angels. It was happening through you. You were the one destroying their plans with your prayers. You were the radar, you were the weapon. Not something protecting you from outside. Something operating within your own soul. This information eventually reached the highest levels of the dark hierarchy. And when the devil himself reviewed your case, something unprecedented happened. He didn't order increased attacks. He didn't assign more powerful demons. He didn't escalate to more destructive strategies. He ordered retreat. He told them, back off, because he knew if they kept attacking you, you would keep praying and you would keep destroying their plans. My pastor told me that in all his years of ministry, he has never seen that. He has never seen the devil order a full retreat just because of one regular person's prayers. He said that is how powerful you are. That is how scared he is of you. He told me that the demons, they have a name for people like you. They call you the unseen warriors, because you are the ones that they can't see coming. You are the ones that destroy their plans before they can even start. And most of you, you don't even know you are doing it. You just pray, and you destroy their plans, and you go on with your day. And you don't even know what you did. He said that most demons, they will do anything to avoid getting close to people like you, because they know if they get close, you will pray, and you will destroy them. They know they can't stand against you. There is nothing they can do. And that is what happened to me for years. I was praying and destroying the enemy's plans, and I didn't even know it. I thought, that is just luck, that is just coincidence. But it wasn't. It was that power, that prayer dominion that I had, and I didn't even know it. And that is why I had to share this with you today, because I want you to know that you have this power, that you don't have to be scared of the enemy, because he is scared of you. Because here is what you need to understand about the enemy of your soul. He was once the highest angel, the most beautiful created. Being the most gifted with wisdom and ability, he had access to divine presence in ways that other angels could only wonder about. But when he fell, he didn't just lose his position, he lost certain capabilities, permanently, irreversibly. One capability that fallen angels fundamentally cannot access is the ability to stand against divine frequency prayer. They can corrupt, they can twist and pervert and poison, but they cannot stand against the power of a chosen one's prayer. That power is permanently closed to them. Once fallen, always limited to operating within the frequencies of their fallen state. They can manipulate existing energy. They cannot stand against the creative power of a prayer aligned with God. This is why your ability terrified him. You, a human being with all the limitations humans carry, fragile body, limited lifespan, restricted perception. You developed a capacity that he, with all his original power and ancient knowledge, can never stand against you, can do something he can't, and it is driving him insane. He has been running from you, not to destroy you immediately, to get away from your prayers, because every time you pray you destroy more of his plans. He wants to get far away from you because he can't stop you. His best analysts, if you can call them, that have examined your case, demons who specialize in understanding human spiritual development entities, whose entire purpose is to find vulnerabilities in chosen ones and exploit them systematically. They studied your history, analyzed your prayers, tracked your patterns across multiple situations, and their report came back with a conclusion that infuriated their master. The report stated that this ability cannot be stopped through their methods because it emerges from a foundation they do not possess. Let me translate what that means. The foundation of this prayer power is love, not romantic, love, not emotional attachment, but the kind of love that exists as the fundamental frequency of creation itself. The love that God is made of, the love that was woven into the original design of human souls that love. It is not just the love you have for other people. It is the love that God has for you. It is the connection that you have with Him. That is what makes your prayers powerful. Because when you are connected to Him, your prayers, they carry His power. They carry His frequency. And that is why they can destroy the darkness. Because the darkness, it can't stand against that frequency. It can't stand against that love. That is why the enemy, he can't stop you, because you are connected to God, and your prayers, they are His power working through you. And the enemy, he can't stand against God. He can't stand against that power. There is nothing he can do. I know you've had days where you felt disconnected from God, where you thought He wasn't listening, where you thought you were too far away for Him to hear you. But that is a lie, because even when you feel disconnected, you are still connected, because you are. And your prayers, they still carry that power. They still destroy the enemy's plans, even when you don't feel it. That is what happened to me last year. I had this season where I felt disconnected from God. I was stressed. I was busy. I was tired. I didn't pray as much. I didn't feel close to Him. I thought He wasn't listening. But even then, when I did pray, it still worked. It still destroyed the enemy's plans. Because that power, it is part of you. It is not something you have to earn. It is something you have because you are His chosen one. That is the thing. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a good Christian. You don't have to do everything right. You don't have to go to church every week. You don't have to read your Bible every day. You don't have to do all the things that people tell you you have to do, because that power, it is part of you. It is who you are, because you are God's child. And your prayers, they are powerful, no matter what. The enemy, he wants you to think you have to be perfect. He wants you to think if you make a mistake, your prayers don't work. He wants you to think if you sin, if you mess up, then your prayers are too weak to do anything. But that is a lie. Because even if you make a mistake, even if you sin, even if you mess up, you are still His child. Your prayers are still powerful. They still destroy His plans. This love is what allows your prayers to carry that power, because love at its essence is creative force. And when creative force prays, it has the power to destroy anything that is not of God. Fallen entities severed themselves from this creative love when they rebelled. They can no longer access it. It is not that they choose not to. They can't. The connection was permanently broken, so no matter how much they study your prayer power, they can never stop it because they lack the foundation it requires. They lack the love that makes it possible. You have something the devil desperately wants to run from but can never escape. And every time you pray, every time you release that power, you remind him of what he lost. You become a living demonstration of the difference between those who remained connected to divine love and those who severed themselves from it. This is why the spiritual atmosphere around you has changed. You may have noticed it. Attacks that used to come frequently now come less and less. Darkness that used to press against you confidently now runs away before it can get close. There is almost a fear in how the enemy engages with you now. And it is not because they've given up on you. It is because they've learned that attacking you is counterproductive. Every attack makes you pray more. Every problem makes you release more of that power. Every attempt to stop you somehow ends up making you stronger. They created a problem they don't know how to solve by attacking you relentlessly. For so long, they accidentally trained you to turn every problem into a prayer that destroys their plans. They meant to destroy you, but instead they developed you. Now they don't know what to do with you. You may have noted that you don't get attacked as much anymore. You used to have all these problems, all these attacks, all the time, every week. Something bad would happen. Your bills would pile up, your car would break down, your family would have problems, everything. But now, they don't come as much. Because the enemy, he is running from you. He doesn't want to get close to you because he knows if he does, you will pray. and you will destroy his plans. That is what happened to me. A few years ago, I used to get attacked all the time. Every week, something bad would happen. My bills would pile up, my dog would get sick, my channel would get attacked. Everything I thought, what is wrong with me? Why is everything going wrong all the time? But now, it doesn't happen as much because the enemy, he is running from me. He doesn't want to get close because he knows if he does, I will pray and I will destroy his plans. I used to wonder why that was, I thought. What changed? Why don't I get attacked as much anymore? I thought maybe I am doing something right. Maybe I am finally getting it right. It is because the enemy, he is scared of you. He is running from you. Because he knows he can't stop you. That is why you may have noticed that things are getting easier lately, that the problems, they don't last as long, that the attacks, they don't come as much. Because the enemy, he is running. He is getting away from you. Because I know you may have thought that is just because things are getting better. That is just because I am doing better. That is just luck. But that is part of it. But it is also because the enemy, he is running. Because he is scared of you. That is the thing. You don't have to be scared of the enemy. You don't have to be scared of his attacks. You don't have to be scared of him. Because he is scared of you. He is the one running. You are the one that he can't stop. You are the one that he can't stand against. Let me give you the evidence that this is already operating in your life, so you can recognize it. First evidence, you pray, and things just shift faster than you expect. Think about it, situations that would have taken months to fix in previous seasons now get fixed in days, maybe weeks. Problems that would have defined entire years of your life now get resolved before you know it. This isn't luck, this isn't coincidence. This is that power working efficiently. The prayer you prayed, it just works. Faster than you thought because you've become skilled at releasing that power quickly. Like last month, I had this friend Sarah, you know, the one I told you about, the one who wrote the children's book. She had this son, he got sick, really sick. The doctors said he would be in the hospital for months, that he might not even make it. And she prayed, just a quick prayer, while she was sitting in the waiting room. She just whispered, "God, please help him." That is it. And 2 days later, he was better. The doctors said it was impossible. They couldn't explain it. They ran all the tests, and there was nothing wrong with him anymore. And she told me she didn't do anything else. She just prayed, and that is it. That is that power working. Second evidence, people who come against you, they run away before they can do anything. I want you to think carefully about this. Think about people who are going to come after you. In recent seasons, people who are going to work against your interests. People who are going to say things about you now. Think about what happened to them afterward. They just left. They didn't do anything. They just backed off, like they were scared something isn't normal here. It is not that you are doing anything against them. You are not actively doing anything, but somehow they can't get close to you because they can feel that frequency. They can feel that power. And they run like, I had this guy last year. He was going to sue me over something stupid, he said. I stole something from him, which I didn't. He was going to take all my money. He was going to destroy my channel. He was going to ruin my life. And I prayed, just a quick prayer. God, please fix this. I didn't know what else to do. And the next day, he called me and he said he was dropping the lawsuit. He said he didn't know why. He just felt like he had to. He said he was sorry and he left. And I didn't do anything. I just prayed. And that is it. That is that power working. Third evidence, you've developed strange peace even when things are bad. This might even confuse you. Why would you feel peaceful when everything is going wrong? That doesn't make logical sense. But somehow you've started knowing that it is going to be okay even when you don't know how. Started recognizing that your prayer, it is already working even before you see the results. Now this perspective isn't natural. It is evidence of that dominion becoming your default lens. You automatically know that your prayer is going to work because you've become skilled at releasing that power. Like, I had this situation 6 months ago. Everything was going wrong. My bills were piling up. I couldn't pay them. My dog Max got sick. I had to take him to the vet, and it was expensive. My channel was getting attacked. People were leaving bad comments. The algorithm was messing up everything, all at once, and I prayed. Just a quick prayer. God, I trust you. That is it. And I just felt this peace, like everything was going to be okay. I didn't worry about it. I didn't stress about it. And a week later, everything fixed itself. I got a bunch of donations, enough to pay the bills. Max got better. The vet bill was covered. The channel got fixed. The algorithm started working again. And I didn't do anything. I just prayed. And that is it. That is that power, working. Fourth, wrong situations keep resolving themselves without you doing anything. Problems that were blocking you have ended, not because you fixed them necessarily, they just fixed themselves. People who were obstacles removed themselves. Situations that were blocking you cleared on their own. This is what happens when your frequency rises through consistent prayer dominion. You become incompatible with certain darkness, not through judgment, through frequency. The darkness can't stand being around you because your prayers destroy it, so it runs away. Like, I had this job a few years ago. It was draining me. It was terrible. The boss was mean. The pay was bad. I hated it. I was working 60 hours a week, and I was miserable. And I prayed, God, please fix this. I didn't know what else to do. And a week later, they fired me. I was shocked. At first I thought, what did I do? I am going to be broke. But then, 2 weeks later, I got this job doing this, making these videos, and it was better than I ever imagined. The pay is better. I love it. I get to help people, and I didn't do anything. I just prayed, and that is it. That is that power. Working, I know. You may have had days where you thought your prayers don't work, where you thought God wasn't listening, where you thought you were praying and nothing was happening. But that is not true, because even when you don't see the results, they are there. Because your prayers, they are working. Even when you don't know it, they are destroying the enemy's plans, even when you don't see it. That is what happened to me so many times. I prayed, and I didn't see the results right away. I thought, it didn't work. I thought, God wasn't listening. But then, later, I found out, it did work. It destroyed the enemy's plans before they could even start, and I didn't even know it. That is the thing. You don't always see the results right away, but they are there, because your prayers, they are powerful. They are working, even when you don't see it. The enemy, he doesn't want you to know that. He wants you to think your prayers don't work, so that you stop praying, so that you stop releasing that power. But now you know. Now you know that your prayers are powerful, that they do work, that the enemy is scared of you. I want you to know that you are not alone. You are not the only one that has this power. There are millions of us all over the world that have this power, that ever destroying the enemy's plans without even knowing it. And we are winning. We are taking back what the enemy stole. We are destroying his plans, one prayer at a time. That is why I do this. That is why because I want you to know that you are powerful, that you are a warrior, that the enemy is scared of you, that you don't have to be scared of him. I want you to go and pray. I want you to release that power. I want you to destroy the enemy's plans. Because you can do it. You are God's chosen one. And your prayers, they are more powerful than you ever imagined. And I want you to come back and tell me what happened. I want you to tell me how your prayers worked. I want you to tell me how the enemy ran from you. Because I want to hear your testimony. I want to share it with the rest of the chosen ones, so that they can know that this power is real, that they have it too. I know this sounds crazy. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it is real. I've seen it over and over with all the chosen ones, and it is real for you too. You have this power. You just don't know it, and the devil is terrified of you because he can't stop you. All you have to do is keep praying, keep releasing that power, and he will keep running because he can't stand against you. You are God's chosen one, and your prayers are more powerful than you ever imagined.